Those identified as statutory delegates include the President, the Vice President, members of the National Assembly, governors and their deputies, members of the State Houses of Assembly, chairmen of council, councillors and National Working Committee of Political Parties, among others. The bill to amend the 2022 Electoral Act No. 13 was sponsored by the Deputy Senate President Ovi Omo Agege. Omo Agege, in his presentation, said the bill seeks to amend the provision of Section 84, subsection 8 of the Electoral Act. According to him, the provisions of the section do not provide for the participation of what is generally known as statutory delegates in the conventions, congresses, or meetings of political parties.
My profound pleasure to have the privilege of leading the debate on this very important bill, which seeks to amend the Electoral Act 2022 to make provision for delegates who not been elected ad hoc delegates as prescribed in the constitution of a political party and the Electoral Act to participate in the convention, congress, or meeting of the party.
Supporting the amendment, a cross-section of lawmakers said without the amendment, most of them will not have the opportunity of voting during the conventions.
Mr. President, I think this is a very straightforward and very simple amendment, because without this amendment, most of us would not have the liberty of voting during the party's convention. But having said that, Mr. President, we still have a lot of sections in the Electoral Act that we need to look into.
This error, which led to us coming back to look at the correction, was something that happened inadvertently. I don't think it was the intendment of this Halo chamber, neither was it the intendment of those who perfected the document to send to Mr. President. But I believe in the course of a work like this, things like this are bound to happen. And I think this one is no less one of them. And that is why we are trying to do this amendment to ensure that what the political parties are known to do by allowing statutory delegates, in addition to the delegates that will be elected by the various political parties, constitute the electoral college for all the elections that we talk about.
Speaking after passage of the bill, President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawal, explained that the amendment became imperative in view of the deficiency created by the provision of Section 84, subsection 8 of the Extant Act before the party primary starts in the next 8 days.
A bill for an act to amend the Electoral Act 2022 and for other matters connected thereto 2022 third reading taken, and the bill is passed. Thank you very much, distinguished colleagues. Let me explain a little bit what we have done. The Electoral Act of 2022, or the amended Electoral Act of 2022 that we passed this year, has a deficiency that was never intended, and that deficiency will deny all statutory delegates in all political parties from participation in congresses and conventions.
The National Assembly has to finish with the processing of the amendment on the bill on Tuesday, in the Senate Wednesday in the House of Representatives, while the executive is expected to give assent within the week.